And here we are once again dealing with insanity in the world in which we live in. So earlier this week, the U.S. Army posted a bulletin basically warning people in the military to be careful around the opening of Joker, the new movie that plans to come out, I believe, what is it, the 11th? October 11th in 2 weeks, I think. A week, 2 weeks, whenever it is. I don't know. Whatever the situation is. Obviously, this is a movie that has gained a lot of controversy, primarily early on in more libertarian and right-wing communities, anti-SJW communities, because early on it was marketed as something along the lines of an Antifa propaganda type of movie, that we have a guy that starts a movement to fight the evil capitalists and becomes Joker along the way, even though he is a bad guy and is very clearly defined as a bad guy in the movie. There were a lot of people on one side of the aisle that were predicting this would be some sort of rallying cry for the Antifa types. Now that the movie has come out, especially in light of the last couple of mass killings that we've had here in the United States, a lot of people are basically saying that this movie could incentivize people to acts of violence, to act out, and that this movie is a bad move by Warner Brothers and the people that created the movie, even questioning Joaquin Phoenix in an interview about it, in which he just kind of walked out of the interview without answering the question. So a lot of controversy about this, but several places, New York Post, The Blaze, Daily Wire, Huffington Post, a lot of places are referencing this memo that was put out by the U.S. Army. And we see here, it says, in a widely distributed email on September 18th marked for official use only, officials reminded service members to identify 2 escape routes and to run, hide, and fight in the event of a shooting. Run if you can. If you're stuck, hide, also known as sheltering in place, and stay quiet. If a shooter finds you, fight with whatever you can. On Tuesday, the Army confirmed to Gizmodo that it issued the warning in light of social media posts from quote-unquote incel extremists that were flagged by the FBI. And then the email to service members explains that incels idolize the Joker character, the violent clown from the Batman series, admiring his depiction of a man who must pretend to be happy but eventually fights back against bullies. But it's not just things that were found on social media, at least not according to some other news sites here, that say the memo pointing to an intelligence bulletin warned of a credible potential mass shooting to occur at an unknown movie theater, and noted that there had been disturbing and very specific chatter on the dark web about such an incident, which is obviously not just regular old social media. And this came out of a U.S. Army base at Fort Sill, Oklahoma. Basically, the idea going forward here is that potentially there's at least one credible threat to an unknown movie theater somewhere in the ether at some showing of the Joker movie, presumably opening weekend. Could there be more? We don't know. Are any of these credible whatsoever? I have no idea. I don't even think they really know. I'm sure the FBI is looking into anything credible that has popped up that they can get their hands on, whether it be social media or whether it be from the dark web or whatever. I'm sure they are doing their due diligence to investigate in whatever ways that they possibly can. But for the purposes of this video, it is simply to say this: be prepared, be ready, be situationally aware. It is unfortunate that we live in a time where, because of media glorifying almost, making people infamous when bad things happen, that people who are deranged will look to things like a movie. Credible or not, who knows? May not even happen at all. Or maybe it was going to happen and the FBI stopped it. Or maybe, unfortunately, it does happen. Maybe, just maybe, you're the person that was there that day, that decided that was the day you were going to make sure you were going to be more aware of your surroundings, and you were going to carry your firearm, and you were going to possibly be the one that stops something worse from happening. I don't know. I can't predict. As an unabashed fan of comic books, I will be going to see the Joker opening weekend. And I will be paying attention to what is going on around me and what is going on in that movie theater. And I hope the rest of you will as well. I mean, that's really basically what it comes down to. Could this all just be blowing smoke? Could this all just be the media making a mountain out of a molehill, trying to stoke the fires of mass shootings are on the rise, just to scare people and hopefully use that fear to enact more gun control, to strip you more so of your rights than you have already been stripped? Sure, it most certainly could. The fact that this is coming from the FBI, the fact that this is coming from military intelligence, makes me think that it's probably not, well, it's probably not fake. There are probably people out there talking. There's probably chatter going on around out there in the dark web and on social media. Is it anything that will turn into anything? Well, I mean, there's a good chance not. A lot of people, let's be honest, talk a lot of shit online, and nothing ever comes of it. And this may very well be one of those situations. But just in case it's not, I would urge each and every one of you to just, as I said, be cautious, be aware of your surroundings, and just understand the world you live in and be prepared. That's really it.